I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is Judge Garth will swear in the new board member, Andy Patrick.
I, and then state your name,
I, Andrew Patrick,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of County Board Member District 3
to the office of County Board Member, District 3,
in and for the County of Edgar and the State of Illinois,
in and for the County of Edgar and the State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of office of County Board Member
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of County Board Member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. A roll call.
Bruner,
Yes, here.
Patrick,
Here.
Farnham,
Here.
Helsley,
Here.
Voigt,
Here.
Zuber,
Here.
Janice.
Here. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes of September 10, September 2, and September 17 meetings? September 2 special meeting and September 17th special meeting. That's all right.
Their approval.
Have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. All those in favor by the usual sign.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Have the claims against the county. Are there any other problems with the claims against the county? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll take the chance to make that motion to approve those.
I'll second since he took the turn.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims against the county. All those in favor by the usual sign.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. County board members' claims.
So moved. Seconded.
We have a motion and a second to approve the county board members' claims. All those in favor by the usual sign.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public comment?
Good morning, my name is Robert Bogue, I'm a Edgar County resident, and I'd like to talk about the airport. Before I do that, I'd like to welcome the county board. I don't have too much to say this morning. I want to remind the county board that I have brought to their attention the current Edgar County Airport manager has some problems in his resume and is misrepresenting the facts, his application, and the job that he now has. In the last study session, I asked the county board to go back and look at the information he submitted and review it carefully, and if you find that there are misrepresentations or misstatements, that you go ahead and fix that problem and perhaps reconsider. In fact, I wish you would consider another applicant or restarting the process and advertising for a new airport manager. I don't believe you can gain credibility without doing so. And that's all I've got.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. Item 9, highway resolutions. Number 1 is a resolution authorizing responsible agencies to post roads to 10 tons effective January 5th, 2015 to April 5th, 2015. Aaron, would you want?
That's just a housekeeping measure. By statute, the board authorizes the townships and the county highway department to post roads. Of course, permission can be granted through a county board if the road freezes hard, et cetera. Just housekeeping, something we've done every year since the roads went.
So moved.
Do we have a second? We'll have a roll call.
Okay. Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Helsley,
Yes.
Voight,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Resolution carried. Number 2, supplemental 2014 maintenance resolution, BLR 14220, appropriating funds from the motor fuel tax allotment for maintenance of county highways for a period beginning 1/1/14 and ending 12/31/14.
In a nutshell, we opened a letting for a Vermillion Road project that goes next year, and got a real surprise on material price increases for next season. And we've decided to follow suit with what we did last year and go ahead and make our PUG this year, put it out at Clinton Road like we did last year. So in essence, we're asking for additional motor fuel tax dollars to make full mix for next season. This is the 2014 GM statement. Your next item will be the 2015 GM statement. Any questions?
Approximately how much of an increase in?
300,000, 1.2 to 1.5. It's going from 1.2 million to 1.5 million. And 1.5 million will be next year's ask as well. And this
So
is brought
that
on.
like a 20% increase
Yeah.
in oil price?
Oh, no, what we're doing is we're moving an operation up a season. 6,000 tons, it's a
But you
$250,000
said
proposition.
there was an increase in price.
Correct. And
And what?
we can make PUG mix, which is composed of 2 rocks and an oil this season, at this season's prices for oil, or we can wait till next year and use those parts and make the same product. So what we're doing is taking advantage of this year's prices. Rather than make $250,000 worth of cold mix next season, we want to do it this season at a cheaper price.
My question is how much an increase in the oil prices?
I don't remember. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Like 10%?
Not even, probably.
I see, okay.
But we spend $1.5 million on oil every year, so 10% is a lot of money. So we have perspective here. 10% on our oil price here is a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Any
So
other questions?
I'm asking for additional dollars, additional 14 GM dollars to make a PUG mix with a winter blend and set it on a Clinton Road.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Have a motion, or have a roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick, Farnum,
Yes.
Helsley,
Yes.
Voight,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
6-8.
Resolution carried. Item 3, 2015 County Maintenance Resolution, BLR 4220, appropriating funds from the county motor fuel tax allotment for the maintenance of county highways for the period beginning 1/1/15 and ending 12/31/15. Same explanation?
Yeah, this is the last season that you'll see this large of a general maintenance program. In fact, I'll even go as far as to say that we won't be spending anywhere near what we're asking for here. We're just trying to be very careful because the Office of Chief Counsel is now in charge of audits, and they've made themselves very clear that if you purchase anything prior to board and IDOT approval, that you'll have to use local funds to reimburse it. So we've got a new hammer, a new auger, giving very little grace. For instance, if we say we're gonna get 1,000 tons of CA6 and we get 1,500, never been a problem in the past. It is now. So from now forward, you'll see us asking for more money than we intend to spend. So this is a 2015 general maintenance statement for $1.5 million, and it covers all of the general maintenance activities that we anticipate may happen next season.
Any other questions? motion?
So,
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll have a roll call.
Burner,
yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Helsley,
Yes.
Voigt,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Item 4, resolution authorizing county board chairman to award and execute a contract with a parent low bidder for the following: Edgar Township Bridge, section 13-03133-00-BR.
Long overdue structure. The central office structures unit came out and looked at it, and surprisingly to me, they just posted it at 3 tons. I knew they would they would close it, but they didn't. They left it open, posted at 3 tons. This bridge is in sorry shape. We're rushing to get it replaced before we have to close the road. We had some hurdles that we had to overcome, that we were able to overcome. The price is more than we'd like to pay. Precast, pre-stressed concrete deck beams are now overpriced, in my professional opinion, so this may very well be the last precast, pre-stressed concrete deck beam bridge in Edgar County. My recommendation is that the county board award the structure to Newell. Any questions? It's overestimated because of the beams. The county board has the final authority. IDOT will go along with the county board's decision here. IDOT will not have a problem with it being overestimate if the county board does not. Your county engineer does not.
Clarity, whenever you're talking about overestimate, can you give us a little bit
Yeah,
more on that?
I'm gonna be round.
Yeah.
148 to estimate 192 low. Number 2 is at 214, Terry. Both of those contractors hit it. I know firsthand, I talked to these guys. Both of those contractors want that bridge, and they hit it. The fat is in the beams. And I sent a few of you an email last night where county has announced that they have less bridges equals more margin. They need to make more money on the few bridges that are getting built to stay open.
So you thought the high mark of this was gonna be what? And then it turned out to be what, in dollars?
Our engineer is McClintock. His estimate's 150, 148, based on past prices. His estimate today would be closer to what it came in at, now that he knows that the prices of beams are through the roof. So if we rebid this, if you tell me no, take it back out, my engineer's estimate will come up to where we're at now anyway.
Which is,
It's 148 now,
what was the bid?
192. Is that right,
That's
Terry?
correct.
I recommend we do it. Timing and the energy we've gotten and expended to get this thing to letting, and the obstacles we've overcome to get to this point. They already told Tim at Newell that if they don't start making their beams, there's gonna be another increase.
What would it cost to do a wooden bridge?
Hey, but we're gonna look at everything. It's a good question. We're gonna look at everything, metal boxes, everything. We've made up our mind that we're gonna,
For the future.
yeah, starting today. This could be your last, in fact, I'll just say it. If I order another bridge to go into design, it won't be with precast beams. And the major bridge out there in Sims is a cast-in-place deck, which is fantastic news. It was luck, I'll be honest, it was luck that we picked a cast-in-place deck, but turns out it was wise.
But it's too late to put
Edgar Bridge needs closed, Mike. Edgar Bridge is an accident waiting to happen. It's very narrow, the deck's falling in.
what would be the impact on the community if we closed it and then backed off and bid a wooden bridge? What would be your estimate?
I'm guessing that you'll spend another $20,000 in design, and we've probably got $20,000 invested in administration. And here's the key, here's a big key. I don't want to get this too long-winded, but I want the board to hear this. We have a very strong staff right now, a very strong, capable staff that we don't anticipate keeping, okay, because of our workload. So I think it's very important that we get as much done with this large, capable staff as we can. That's another consideration.
So it'd be about a wash, and then if we held off,
It'll cost you, Mike. It'll
Okay.
end up costing you. I'm saying that you'll end up getting another 192 and spend 30,000 looking into why.
okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make that motion.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll have a roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Helsley,
Yes,
Voight,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Resolution carried. Item 5 is resolution authorizing the county board to execute a contract with a parent low bidder for the following Helan's Dip water main relocation, section 11-00106-00-SP.
This is a federally funded utility relocation for the federally funded safety project out on County Highway 1. And B&T hit it. B&T is a third of what the number 2 bidder was in below estimate. Federally funded, 90% federally funded, and well below estimate. B&T's your low bidder.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Helsley,
Yes,
Voight,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Resolution carried. Item 11, authorize chairman to sign amendment to the, item 10. Resolution appropriating funds for state's attorney's appellate prosecutor program of $7,000. That's what we do every year. That way the appellate prosecutor will represent us when asked to.
I move the resolution.
I'll second.
We have a motion to second. All those in favor?
Roll call.
Oh, that's a resolution, yeah, we need a roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Helsley,
yes,
Voight,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Resolution carried. Item 11, authorize chairman to sign amendment to the lease for Regional Office of Education. Alan, do you want to?
That's just, as we talked last meeting, it's a way to clear up some language in a contract between the Coles County Development Corporation, which holds the building, the ROE over in Charleston, and all the counties that are part of it. This clears it up, that it makes it clear that, one, is it's gonna be all the counties afterwards, and two, is that we're paying for the maintenance, any part of it.
Our
I recommend that we
percentage.
do that.
Right.
Yes, our percentage based on equalized assessed valuation.
Was that a motion,
I
Alan?
can make that a motion, yes.
I'll second.
Who was that? Oh. We have a motion and a second to authorize chairman to sign the amendment to the lease with the Regional Office of Education. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Item 12 is a resolution to support for Looking for Lincoln program. You just come tell us about that.
Briefly, the Illinois Lincoln Coalition, which I suspect is a state agency, anyway, it's based in Springfield, and it has been in existence as part of the federal heritage regional heritage initiative, I think through the National Park System, anyway, for the past 5 or 6 years. Reached out to us this year and encouraged Edgar County to become part of the Looking for Lincoln heritage effort. Counties around us have already joined during the initial effort 4 or 5 years ago. For some reason, at that time, Edgar County and the City of Paris did not participate. We have a steering committee that has met a couple of times. One of the requests that the state made to prepare our application to become a certified Looking for Lincoln County is a resolution of support from the county and from the city. And so that's why we're asking it at this time. Has no other obligation to the county except just indicating that, you know, general support of the effort. The ultimate goal, if we are approved and complete the organization, would be to establish a tourism type approach, such as some of the other counties around us have done, to identify local sites that were associated with Lincoln when he was in practice of law, and perhaps incorporate a Lincoln event into, you know, some of our other celebrations as it goes on. It's being essentially organized through the Chamber of Commerce.
Ed, this doesn't obligate us if somewhere we discover a Lincoln signature in the courthouse. That doesn't mean that we have to give that up.
Oh, no, no,
To a
it
museum or
hasn't.
anything.
Good luck if you do.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
I move the resolution.
I'll second.
Who was that?
No, right?
The new guy?
Oh, yeah.
The new guy.
Had my head down.
We have a roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Helpsman,
Yes.
Voigt,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
We'll break you in on a patriotic resolution, Andy.
Item 13, resolution approving oath and bond of Gary Starkey, Commissioner of Drainage District Number 1 of the Town of Young America, County of Edgar, State of Illinois.
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Have a roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Farnum, Helsley,
Yes.
Voigt,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Item 14, resolution from Joseph E. Myers, County Tax Agent, to authorize County Board Chairman to execute deeds of conveyance for the following parcels: to the Brockton Fire Protection District, Justin Moore, Tammy Rowe, Presbyterian Church, Joseph Abbott, Joseph Ricketts, Colton Wyatt, Jason Smith, Ellsbury Farms, Ellsbury Farms, Ellsbury Farms, Ellsbury Farms.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
I'll second that. Nice job also.
And just to mention here, these are tracts that have not previously had the taxes been paid on and had not been successful at tax sale. So our agent has been able to sell them, and we're approving the deeds for them.
Give you a second.
Yes, I do have a second.
Roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Patrick, Farnum,
Yes.
Helsley,
Yes.
Voigt,
Yes.
Zuber.
Yes.
Don, you're up to bat.
Thank you, Chairman. In your report, as you can see, our cash flow on the top line is not too far from the previous month. When you compare it to a year ago, it's hard to compare unless you make the point that I've made at the bottom of the page, where we'd already made the third distribution a year ago. So if you look at the third distribution that's coming in the next week or two of $215,000 and bring that balance down, you're going to be in the same ballpark as what we were a year ago. Okay. As far as the state, we've received our income tax so far this year, or this month, but we're still waiting on sales tax, supplemental sales tax, local use, all the other ones. It's just so early in the month that they just haven't sent them yet. Also, we sent out courtesy reminder cards because our due date was September 26th. We've gotten a good response out of that. People are coming in, forgetting they had forgot their second installment or their payment had got lost in the mail. A number of situations. We will be mailing the certifieds out this afternoon. They will be hitting mailboxes well, attempting to serve them on people starting tomorrow, which is going to start getting some more of this collected. We got about $600,000 out there that hasn't been collected yet. All normal. It was nothing unusual. I still anticipate we'll collect 99% like we normally do. Other than that, any questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aaron,
Nothing further, thank you.
supervisor assessment.
I had 4 employees yesterday go over to Coles County and take the supervisor of assessment test, and I assume all of you will be getting results within a day or 2.
You said 4 of them?
Yes.
Your office was pretty bare than yesterday for a
Yep,
while.
it was me and one other guy.
Probation,
Nothing new to report.
circuit clerk,
Nothing, sir.
airport.
My worker is on vacation right now, so shorthanded right now, and we've had a lot of rain, like every 2 or 3 days, so we've had a couple problems with water running off the runway and causing some erosion on the ends, and Jake brought up some dirt and filled in some holes there, so we're working on that, but we've got 2 more meetings coming up this month, so we'll address some of the problems.
Thank you. County clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, Bev, thank you for your report. I was gonna say that the ads have ran in the paper, and I knew of a few people have gone over to take the test, so the resumes are due back into my office on October the 20th. So that would be, that's a Monday, we'll have a study session, but they're due at 4 o'clock that day, but I'll keep you informed of what we have. The Chamber of Commerce would like to put up a Christmas tree on the west side of the courthouse in the lawn. Warren Sperry was representing the Chamber of Commerce, and he asked us for permission, and I said, you really need to talk to the sheriff because he is the custodian of the courthouse and the grounds. Well, the sheriff came in with him just by happenstance, and sheriff heard it all, and he said, yeah, it's fine with me. Basically, they're gonna string up white Christmas lights and make it real festive and incorporate that into a celebration. And then I believe Dusty Rhodes is going to take it down and haul it away and fill in. I guess they're gonna make a hole, stick the tree down in it, but then in the spring, of course, we'll fill the hole, they will fill the hole, and then in the spring put some sod down and make it look like it never even happened. So, I then called Ben. Ben gave me his okay, suggested I call the chairman of the Building and Grounds. Talked to the chairman of Building and Grounds, he said okay. He consulted with another member, and he said okay. So,
Okay.
okay,
We talked to.
okay.
Good job.
Does anybody have a problem?
Is there gonna be a present for the treasurer under that tree? That's all my only question.
Absolutely
Thank you.
not.
Now, in fact, if you scoot close enough, we'll give you a Christmas goose a little early.
Oh, appreciate that.
Okay, I got a few things, election-wise, where, obviously, it's underway, and Terry just handed me some notes. We have 88 total count on our scanner that ballots have been processed, and so far, we've had 169, 170 absentees that have been mailed out but not returned yet. And we've had 53 requests yet to mail. And that is as large of numbers, those are large numbers that we've seen yet in my tenure. So there's a lot of interest in this election. Needless to say, we are very busy. I just returned back from a conference in Springfield last week. I handed out those parts of the law. I don't know if anybody took a moment to read through those last Monday or yesterday, but just some of the highlights that will affect us out of 2 pages of parts of the bill. One is the school board elections. All the paperwork and the petition filing and the packets that get picked up used to all be done at the schools in the county. Well, now they're done by the county clerk's office. And the schools are completely out of the loop. So they dumped that on our lap, and but we're glad to provide that service. Early voting has now extended through Sunday, November the 2nd. And you recall I have tried to explain over the last several years the difference between absentee, grace period voting, early voting, and it's very confusing. But for early voting, goes through November the 2nd, which used to be cut off on, well, as early as, Saturday. Yeah, the last time it was Saturday. Grace period has now extended through election day. So on election day, a person can walk in, register to vote, and vote. That grace period was stopped in past. Had been done, Thursday, Friday beforehand, and it used to allow us. It used to allow us a couple of days to get things caught up and ready to go for election day. But now that's all gone away.
Does that require you to have extra staff at the polling place?
They do not require us to have extra staff at the polling place. There are provisions in the law that call for as fair a representation from both parties as possible. Question?
The last 2 days, though, those are provisional, correct?
Yes. You beat me to that. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
The last 2 days, the day before election and election day, thank you, Jeff. Anybody that votes, it will be voted as provisional ballots.
Meaning what?
Meaning, those all have to come through for us to verify.
For 10 days.
I'm sorry?
10 days.
And there are 10 days, we have 10 days to process those. So I'm not anticipating that would negatively affect our timing of trying to get the results out on election night. We've got 10 days.
Those would not be part of the
Results.
results, though.
Right.
Correct.
Right. Not on election night.
Right.
Right. They would be a part of the official canvass of votes.
Absentees.
And along with any absentees that are still out.
So if you have a contest, it's like 2 votes difference, you really wouldn't know the winner until 10 days later or something like that.
That
So what he's saying, Dan, is the difference between you and the person you're running against, pretty close in there. Oh, you don't have anybody running, that's right.
That's the one vote
Yeah.
Mr.
I'm not
Clerk,
sure she's gonna vote for it.
what was it, if somebody would have walked in on election day prior to this, they would have been turned down? So that's what's probably brought this about?
Yes. Yes. It's all about giving everybody as much opportunity as possible to vote.
And still putting in a safety factor where you have to verify it.
Right. And again, the provisions in the bill, which are 2 full pages, theoretically is only for this election. But I think everybody knows that it's really going to be set in stone after this. One more item. no photo ID is required for early voting. So in the past, we would ask for ID, and the two most common forms are your driver's license and your voter registration card. Well, and this is statewide, we cannot ask for a photo ID.
Can someone offer that to you?
If they offer that, we will accept that, yes. But we're not allowed to ask for a photo ID.
I guess like I asked you the other day, just in general, so the public knows, technically, right now, they can come up here to the county courthouse and vote.
Yes.
I mean, bottom line of everything is,
Bottom line, you can come
we can
vote.
come in and vote.
And we just all have gotten used to calling early voting.
Yeah, there's so many different.
It's so many different terms, and we're gonna meet later this month in different zones around the state to try to work on some ideas and language there's a movement now to try to clean that up so the public really understands what's going on. Trying to clear up the early voting, the grace period, the absentee. So, there's a lot more going into this election than in the past. But we are open for voting. We'll vote here all the way through Election Day.
Anything else?
Any questions for me? I think that, Christmas tree, I don't think that's it.
So somebody could come up here election day and vote instead of
Yeah.
going to their precinct?
Do what?
They can vote here election day instead of going to their precinct?
No, that's if you're unregistered.
All right, got you.
Thank you, that's a good question. Grace period.
Well, you said you were open here, I went through. election day
Well,
vote. I just-
okay. We are, yeah, we are, but that's, we are, but we're not. How's that?
That's good.
Thank you, good question, John. I'm done.
Item 16, committee reports. Jeff?
Budget, 91.66% of the year has passed us. Our expenditures are at 87.18%. Our income is at 82.41%. Of course, Don mentioned we have several things, we're pretty early in the month. So with that 215, if we'd received it, would bump that up to 87% collection, or income. I would like to remind you that we are in the process of preparing the budget and levy. We're continuing to meet on that, and we've got several things to work out yet, but we're pretty close. We will be presenting, and Augie, you explained that to me. We approve the budget at the first meeting in November, and then we adopt it on the second meeting in November. So it's very important that we have a quorum at both of those meetings. Sure we will, but just to remind you that they have to be done at those two meetings. So from that standpoint, we're moving ahead, and we've got good communication. I think all the board members are aware of what's going on. Andy's gotten a copy of both documents, and so hopefully you work through that. And if you have questions, whoever you're comfortable talking with or meeting with, we'll get you up to date on.
Special meeting tomorrow morning.
Yes. Then the airport is, as we,
Committee meeting.
right.
Committee meeting, not a special meeting.
Excuse.
That's
Committee
okay.
meeting,
Yeah, that's all right.
Didn't
Semantics,
register.
no
I-
big
yeah.
deal, other than just,
Yeah, it is not a special meeting.
No.
We do have
Sorry
a
about that.
meeting tomorrow morning to go over final items to make sure we're all clear on it.
App correct, right?
Correct. Airport, we do have a meeting, as was stated. Is that 6:30 meeting, correct? I think that's a 6:30 meeting.
On Monday.
And Andy, you've been appointed, so you're gonna be joining us out at the airport. So, I'm not sure you were aware of that, but
I reminded him.
you did. All right. But,
hands all these off for you.
Anyway, the last item that I'd like to bring up is I'd like to state that we're very appreciative of the Farm Bureau and the county. We have discussed and they do need some updates from us through the GIS. And instead of, they need some 11,000 parcels update, but a limited amount of information. And we're gonna go ahead and take care of that for 2 cents a parcel. So that's what we agreed on, and we're gonna move forward on that. And then if we have other requests from other agencies and so forth, it will depend on what information they're requesting, and we'll take it on a case-per-case basis, okay? And we, like we said, we do appreciate their work, and they're gonna be providing us with extra books and a map, and we're very appreciative of that. So that's all I have at this time, unless there's some questions, Mr. Chairman.
Seeing none, Carl.
Okay. 911 board met Monday evening, afternoon. Talked about the dispatching issues. You know, they again expressed their concerns on the service, the decline in the service. And another thing that was brought up that I wasn't aware of was, I think last week, like 1 o'clock in the morning, they had some electrical issues at the jail in the equipment room, and I guess the breaker tripped and the 911 system went down. They were still able to answer phone if the call came in, but they would have not got any information, and they weren't, I guess, aware that the breaker had tripped. And I guess it tripped again like 5 o'clock in the morning. And Nanette met with, I think maybe Ross was there, and the electrician came down, and it was discovered that there was too many things plugged into the circuit the 911 equipment was on, and that caused the breaker to trip. So I think Jim advised and explained to Ross about that. But the 911 group was very concerned about it because of, you know, when that originally, back in the equipment room, there was just the phone system and the 911 server back there, and now the room is full of equipment. And they were talking about possibly getting a consultant or someone to come in and do an evaluation of it. And I don't know whether that's myself, I don't know whether it's necessary. I think Jim Bennett could probably handle it, an electrician could handle it and advise us. And talked about just a dedicated circuit for 911 equipment only, and make sure that it's labeled, that nothing else is hooked into it, so we don't have that problem again that could, you know, interrupt the service. They indicated that the room is full of equipment, so I think the building committee maybe needs to go down and take a look at that and evaluate it, and, you know, if there's more requests in the future for equipment, you know, that.
Take a serious look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe getting warm too in there.
Yeah, they've had air conditioner problems off and on. They mentioned that maybe we need to get a bigger air conditioner. I guess Nanette had talked to Ross about getting some type of alarm, and I guess it was down there, but he hasn't got around to hooking it up. They were concerned about that. They reminded him again, get it done. Now whether he,
Temperature alarm,
yeah, you know, if the air conditioner would quit or if it get too high in there, they'd go off, so someone would be aware of it, so prevent a shutdown. So that was a big concern.
I'm thinking possibly electrician could do that too,
Right. So
rather than.
So the building committee needs to meet in the real near future to take a look at that. There's some issues up here at the courthouse we need to take a look at before winter, so we need to get that scheduled sometime in the near future. I think that was the only thing that I remember basically from the meeting, unless you have any.
No,
you were there.
I just said we may need, they were talking about a water cooler or a cooler, instead of an air conditioner, a different system.
Yeah, they're concerned about humidity levels, and there's a vent down there that some work needs to be done on before winter, so we just need to take a look at it.
Can the building committee get together before they leave and get a date for
Yes.
a meeting? Or maybe have a meeting, assuming we get this meeting over?
We'll discuss it afterwards.
Anything
That's
else?
all I have.
Mike,
Nothing.
Alan,
Nothing.
Andy, you got any reports on your committees?
I'll work on it.
Dan?
We met Monday with Andrew at the animal shelter, everything out there, running fine, pretty well. Windows being replaced at Franklin buildings, other than that, no problems.
Roof on the health department is done. Is it-
Yeah, I've heard they were working on it, but we haven't had a meeting next week.
Anything else? Do we need a closed session for anything? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Could we get a second on that?
I'm not gonna second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting's adjourned.
Mr. Clerk, I'll shut this camera off for you.
Thank you. You'd be so